happens to watch the recording, this is the 8th session of a regular old tabletop game of Axe. We are mostly using rules that precede the upcoming Imperial imprint. The main exceptions you will see bring thieves and low-light vision more in line with the revised designs. We further add explorers to the core class list and swap their prime requisite to Constitution. However, the world itself has been meticulously built and stocked following the guidelines from the Imperial Imprint Judge's Journal. And those familiar with the AX module series set in the Oran Empire may recognize materials from AX1. Let us begin with introductions. First is Jagrov, a necromancer of the Hansen School of Magic, and a serial survivor of his companion's deadliest perils. He is played by Chris. Jagrov has employed an explorer and field cartographer named Holt, who will be played by John until the party returns to civilization, at which point, hopefully, everyone will be alive, and John will introduce his own player character. Next is Sandath, a 0th level would-be thief promoted from henchman to player character following the sudden demise of his employer, Telma. He is Richard's 3rd character in 8 sessions. Similiricus is an Asconan crusader who was confronted last session with his first real taste of chaos. He will be played by Ross. And last today is an NPC, Romit, who is a young what is he? He's a young hunter whose ties to the late Telma have left him with no motivation to continue in the party's employ after her death. It is the small craft's fate to watch the list of the galleons and pray for light winds. The players guide a band unlucky enough to live in the border marks of one such skiff, the free port of Bremen, southern of 2 tiny nations unfortunate enough to occupy the land bridge between a pair of imperious giants. These looming empires long kept one another in check until a turbulent succession in the sprawling Sultanate of Hansa to the south emboldened hawks in the northerly kingdom of Locarno to swoop down unopposed on their neighboring bridge state, Ascona. Hansa now musters its armies in reply to thwart Locarno and claim the corridor for its own. Bremen is merely in the way. The Freeport's saving grace is a crescent of savage and untamed wilderness, spanning the gap between it and the Hansen border, though the internal borders of Bremen have been severely depleted by the departure of thousands of volunteers going north to fight with Ascona. A month passed before news of Hansa's approach reached 4 travelers by Bremen's eastern border, leaving them with precious little time to plan an escape or prepare to make a stand. In the first month of play, they got the lay of the land around 2 of the remote border forts on Bremen's eastern fringes, Ostmark-Tor and Silsband-Tor. They have now made a handful of expeditions into the woods on either side of the border. To the east across the border, their explorations revealed strange plants, tree spirits, and the miasma of undeath. In the western wood, they found a great dome of ebon granite, then negotiated entry with the bestial sentries at the great bronze doors within, which were revealed by a wide crack in the stone.
Milo's reward.
And after that, they lost 2 party members to an ambush by a pair of dog-sized crab spiders. The expeditionaries camped outside in the woods on the night of the fateful foray before returning to gather their spoils the next morning. They met with a flock of hook-beaked, bat-winged owls on their path, which Sandath frightened off by imitating the call of a much larger predator. The party made it back to the room of the spiders' ambush to gather treasures they left behind before: 10 valuable jars of incense, oils, and perfumes, and 1 large blood-red garnet. They have traveled 3 miles south through the primeval forest of oak and yew, away from the Ebon Dome, and toward the broad path that leads out of the woods. We will open the session where they stopped last time. The date is the 2nd of the Stag. It is the 6th hour after sunrise and the 4th since your party began its activities for the day. At the end of last session, you all made and globally passed a surprise check. 13 yards off the path, among the dense trees to the party's left, you all spot a mangy sable wolf hunched over a kill. lurching forward now and again to wrench flesh from its prey. As you draw it into focus, you note its unnatural size, shoulder height, and as long from snout to hind as any of you would be tall with your arms outstretched at full length above your head. Blunted spikes of bone protrude from its skin. It stops as it catches your scent over the blood of its meal, but you have it by surprise and may act before it wheels around. What do you do?
We have to kill
I say
it.
loose your arrows.
Yeah, either that or I need to, like Simulacrus will stand here and fight because he's in armor. And he needs the armor and he can't run. So those are the two options.
Hush, my friends. Let me dispatch it. Quietly.
This is a surprise round. If you want to try to sneak, I'm going to let you know. It has spotted you. You just have it with its pants down, as it were.
Let us shoot it in the breeches, my friends.
Shoot it.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to open fire.
Okay.
And that's a
You may
miss.
all... So, first of all, a couple of you... Well, no, one of you is on a horse. I don't know who it is. I think it's Similacrus. During the surprise round, you can dismount using your movement. So if you're going to take some other action, if you have a sling or something and want to make a ranged attack, you're welcome to. Everyone else is on foot and can simply attack, as long as it's within range. 13 yards should be within close range for anything except a thrown dagger or a spear. Actually, I think it's in range for a spear, too.
Oof.
Yeah, just
Let me know what AC you hit.
I roll a natural 1.
What AC do you hit?
-8.
It has slightly more AC than that.
I assumed as much, yes.
What was your attack? Was that a shot with an arrow?
Yes, a short bow. I'm not getting
That's
melee with this
unfortunate.
thing.
Okay.
I'm not
What
the
other
only
attacks were
person
made?
contributing to this, am I? Come on, guys. Make your attacks. Don't leave me in the lurch here.
I rolled a 10.
I have no attacks to make.
Okay.
Jocko doesn't have
Okay.
darts.
What's that? There's no way darts reach out that far.
Yeah, they do. They got a range of 15 yards in outdoor. This is only
Yes.
15 yards
This
away.
is an important note. In Axe, like in Basic and Expert, ranges are all tripled outdoors for reasons that I think make almost no sense, but are in fact the way it works. So
It-
Okay,
it's
well, I
basically
missed.
linear
becomes
versus
30 feet.
parabolic trajectories.
Something like that.
Well,
Not
I
sure
missed.
why it works for spells. Okay. Wow, you guys all missed. That's not great.
Mm-mm.
Would one of you like to roll for Romit?
I will do so. What's his
He hits on. He
Thanks,
hits on the
Richard.
10 plus.
Okay. He hits AC 4.
That hits.
What are you
He
doing?
Roll me
does
damage.
I mean, what are you doing? Come on.
1d6. He does 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, so the party makes a volley, which mostly gets lost among the trees because it was all happening too quickly. Romit lands a lucky shot, having had his arrow already knocked. He must have been quite wary in this part of in the woods. And he's the only one to land a blow. What would you like to do in the next combat round?
I rush forward to strike the thing.
Understood, making a charge. That will give you +2 to hit and -2 to your AC this round,
I'll charge, yeah.
and you will go in the first half. Good. Who else? Anything? Spells? Orders for henchmen?
Can I
dare
shoot
not.
again?
No,
It's
if he's in
risky.
melee, he's
yeah.
in melee, it's like it is not possible to shoot into a melee.
Well, actually, we're doing this with phases, so that will happen at the same time. You can
Oh.
shoot before he gets into melee. His
Okay,
charge
good.
attack will happen during the same phase, but you can fire before him if he holds his
Then
initiative.
I'll toss another dart in that case.
I will also.
Okay.
Romit and Sandath will also both shoot.
All right, gentlemen, roll me initiative. We're going to do missiles, movement, and Similaricus' charge attack. Is anyone going on an 8? Is anyone going on a 7?
1 sec.
6?
I'm rolling initiative for Ramit
Okay.
and Sandath.
Yeah,
Much
I'm on a
appreciated.
6. Jagrev is on a 6.
Go ahead.
All right. I think that'll be a hit.
Yeah, it has.
Yes, he did.
What was the AC you hit?
I'm sorry, Martin. All I can tell you is I rolled a 17.
That'll do.
You hit. Oh,
I'm-
yeah, you hit
I'm a
AC
man.
7.
I'm a man with a baby in my arms at the moment.
I
AC
respect
is-
it. Yes. How much damage?
Max damage, 4 damage.
Nice. The dart sinks into its shoulder between two protruding bone spikes. Were there any other hits? On a 6? Okay. Who's on a 5?
On 5, Sandath goes. He hits AC -3 with his arrow, missing a second time.
On a 4. It will take its turn before any of you who are tied with it because there are fewer combatants on its side than yours. It wheels and it will meet Similaricus' approach. I'm sorry, man, you're wearing the heaviest armor. It thinks you're the most appropriate. Let's see how it does. Ooh. As it lurches forward, it trips on a root ever so slightly with its back foot and comes up just short. Its elongated snout snaps at your shoulder, but it finds no purchase through your mail. You won't be making a charge, but it has given itself -2 AC, and it is engaged in melee, so I guess that's about the same without the penalty for you. Is anyone else going on a 4? 3, 2.
On 2, Ramit
1.
would hit AC 2, but he can't shoot into melee.
Okay. He may choose to move forward instead. That's not a committed action. That was just... The only committed actions are spells. And,
Let me roll his morale real quick. He rolls a 10.
and
Do
bonus.
you want to roll high or low for morale?
Why would he need to roll morale?
I don't know. I'm just judging. I'm asking the dice to play the character for me. I'm making introspection.
Fair
Also,
enough.
I can never remember if you want to roll high or low for a morale check.
Anytime
So
it's
in
something
Axe, it's a little
within
bit
you,
different.
You want to roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Axe is different.
Yeah, so in Axe, it's a little bit different. It all runs on a single table, which you can find if you search for the word "fight on" in the rule book. It'll pull you straight to that table.
All right.
But basically, in Axe, everything's given a range, and they change everything from being a roll under, roll over to a bonus to that one 2d12 roll. What I can tell you right now is that at 10, he passes morale. He's willing to fight.
All right, he's going to go
But
hit it
he
with an
hasn't
axe. He'll hit
gone into a
AC.
berserker range.
Assuming I keep the same 1d20, he'll hit AC 3 with his hand axe. Will that land?
That connects, and you have assessed that it has AC 3.
He does 3 points of damage with his axe.
Okay, he buries it deep into the same shoulder as the dart. This thing is starting to look worse for the wear, but the flesh isn't separating like you would expect. I apologize if this is graphic. It's billowing out around the wound.
Nice.
Something's very wrong. On a 1?
I've held my initiative, so I'll attack on a 1.
Okay.
Ooh!
17.
That will hit AC.
That's a solid hit.
6
That'll hit.
damage.
Ooh!
And do you not have a strength bonus as well?
Oh,
I
yes, I'm
remember
sorry.
Similaricus having at least
Yeah,
+1.
7, sorry, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm tallying 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. This was a disappointing fight for it. You have reduced it to -1 HP with that 19th point of damage. Tell me, how do you bring down this mangy, mutating dire wolf?
I think its side gets ripped open and it starts to like fungus starts to come out or whatever, like some kind of beefsteak lip, some kind of fungus growth. So seeing that, I just crack it in the skull instead, where its cranium is.
All right. The cranium gives, and the beast lies still.
It was a good blow.
Ron looks down at the thing, and he just starts to cry a minute. It's a lot of pent-up anguish about the last 24 hours are starting to hit all at once, because he just had a really intense moment of catharsis as he killed this awful thing. Sits down on the carcass and just holds his head in his hands for a minute.
My hearty congratulations, by the way. By the way,
Thank you.
guys, you won your first honest combat.
Yeah, that is. I think that's the first win.
Who is this Sandath?
Are you
I'm
saying?
Sandath. Ramit is the one
saying-
who's... Sandath is fine. Ramit is the one who's having a minor emotional breakdown right now.
Ramit.
He'll be
Get
fine in
yourself
a minute.
together.
Are you
Come on,
saying
come on,
that
man.
our first combat was not an honest combat?
Because the first one we won.
Oh no, it was exactly the sort. It was exactly the sort that I would consider a dishonest combat. Want to have?
Do you think we... Sandath clears his throat. So, are we going to skin it? Because the fur looks mostly good.
Sandath, you are strange.
The
but
fur.
Except for that little mangy bit, we can cut around that.
It doesn't... It's not going to have... It's not like it has any... And Sandath just sort of shrugs. It's like... I mean, we don't have to. It's that or we burn it.
It's a dire wolf. It's big.
It is big. We're not pulling it home. I'm certainly not eating it. What can... I looked at the GM. With whatever knowledge Ramit has, can we do anything useful with this thing? Or should we just... does skinning it even an option? Like, the hunter in the party, Ramit might actually know, but he's recovering. He had to have a moment.
This pelt will be of almost no value to you at market because mangy doesn't quite describe the decrepitude of this carcass. It was warping and changing shape, and there was muscle and bone protruding in strange places. It's possible that it would be of some use to you to bring it back as a sample or something like that, I could imagine, but
No, that's disgusting.
it's not
Leave
going
it.
to be worth much money.
Don't touch it.
I will touch it.
No.
Give it here.
Let's move on, gentlemen.
I'll cut a piece off.
Okay. Are you cutting off a piece of the flesh, a piece of the fur,
Was there anything odd about the fur?
section of skin?
I mean,
It's an unusually dark color for a wolf, I suppose.
We could take...
I'm sure that they're like this somewhere, but this is almost a black fur. It's a very dark sort of brown at the roots and black at the tips.
I'll do a full biopsy then. Huh? I'll take a big cross section of fur, flesh, etc.
While he's doing that,
Okay.
Ramit is going to use his hand axe to remove its lower jaw in the hopes that he can turn it in for a bounty with one of the Thorix wardens.
I made a mistake. You asked me if there was anything valuable. The fangs and stuff actually probably are valuable as trophies. They're not going to be very valuable, but to a hunter, you might look at them and say, these are worth a couple silvers.
Nice.
I mean, the pelt is all messed up in some way, or
The pelt was diseased and also warped. You wouldn't think that this pelt is going to be worth any money, but, teeth are teeth. A big tooth on a necklace is still worth a couple silvers. It's a trophy.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Jogrov will be able to take his cross section.
I think we've
If you
plundered all we can plunder.
It's a some trophies, you can do that.
Yeah.
Be able to earn.
Oh,
We gotta jiggle the cable again. Yodo!
And all right. You've already reached the wide path and can proceed to the edge of the forest if that's your intent.
I'm prepared to leave this
Okay.
forest behind me.
Great. That will take another 2 total hours, bringing you up to, I guess, 6 of your 8 normal hours of travel for the day. The sun is beginning to get low in the sky, but you're not out of sunlight yet. You've reached the edge of the forest and can see about a mile and a half away, the lost village of Aspen. The home of the now deceased Watts.
Is it a ruin? Is that why it's considered lost?
Yeah, it was destroyed by raiders from within the Needleback. Presumably the beastmen we've encountered, but we don't know for sure.
Is it safe to go in?
Yeah. I mean, safe-ish. Like, it's not like it has been plundered. There's no more to plunder there. It's basically just a ruin. Last time we were there, nothing happened, at least.
Maybe as the sun is going down, we should seek shelter within.
Yeah. And see if we can find the graveyard and bury Watts in it.
Oh, okay. I hadn't thought of that. Do you have digging tools?
Yeah, actually, we do. Telma had some on the horses. Like, it's one of the things that she bought.
Oh
was
yeah,
a
you have laborer's tools.
Yeah.
Okay. None of you have a labor proficiency, but I suppose there are enough of you working on it that you would be able to, if you're planning to camp here, complete that before the end of the day. Have I understood your plan correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. If no one minds.
All right.
I'm an outdoorsman. I can
yes.
wield a spade. Yes.
So you have 2 bodies as well. Are you planning to bury Telma here or carry her on to the town?
Wouldn't her old acquaintance be a good person to ask about that? The one who's going to quit?
Yeah, what does Ramit think?
He's rather distraught. His plan, I suppose, had been to bring her back to Lena, but Lena's also a lost village. It's a few days going back to Osmark Tor, going north to Sill's Bend, and then from there.
Well, not to be brass, Ramit, but isn't it better to preserve the body as we can and honor it before too long? What do you think?
I feel like... Sorry, go on.
ahead.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he'll assent to that. The important thing in his mind is that the dead are honored.
I think it would be better that way.
We've got a priest here, at least. Who can give proper ceremony to the gods.
Okay.
Is Jagrav? Who among us is a priest?
Similiricus.
Similiricus. Yes.
We might be able to...
You guys want to do like a burial of these 2 here?
Yeah.
Would you say a few words?
Yeah, in the Skonan tradition, I perform a funeral service.
Okay.
That was very moving.
I
think we can rest.
Yeah.
They will rest well.
I I'm not sure that you'll be able to burn the bodies, but you can certainly bury them. And with the amount of time and tools that you have, I don't think that it would be unreasonable to say that you could bury them deep enough for it to be respectable.
Yeah, we've got some strong men here.
The sun will set. The night is cold, but not nearly as cold as yesterday. We're talking a brisk 40s, something that you can certainly handle with a warm blanket, as opposed to yesterday, which was very near freezing. The night passes quietly, though you do hear the howling of wolves in the distance. They don't seem to be following your scent. The sun rises, and you may continue on your way. What's your plan?
Get
From
back,
here,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We probably want to head down to remember the southern tour, Ostmark. They've got a bigger market. We'll be able to find buyers for this for these treasures we reclaimed from the dome.
Right. Oh wow, yes, it's actually phenomenal weather. It gets hot by noon, 88 degrees, but the skies are clear, and there are moderate winds cutting the heat, or at least keeping your sweat from piling up too much. You reach Ostmark Tor just before lunch. You are admitted by the gate guards and may proceed with your plans.
Well, should sell this garnet in the jars. Go to the marketplace.
Indeed.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Well, I didn't forget. I want to do this in order now. For returning to civilization, you will receive experience for the treasure that you brought back, including the base value of the trade goods, no matter what price you end up selling them for. So that is 500 experience points total for the treasure, 94 for the two spiders combined, and kind of an outsized 140 for the direwolf, split a full share to PCs and a half share to henchmen. Holt, in this case, is a
So,
If that experience affects anything, feel free to calculate it now. If it's not going to make anyone pass any important thresholds, we can deal with that at the end of this. But you have received the experience.
I'll do some math real quick.
Okay.
It's not 500 a piece,
Should
is
just
it?
be 734. No, it's 734 experience points total.
Okay. No, I'm nowhere close.
Okay. The only meaningful level up will be Sandeth.
You will
reach
hit
first level.
level 1. Well, he was already going to, thanks to his thanks to the bonus XP, but it will certainly not hurt.
Okay. Romit will wait to receive his pay before he goes his own way. He'll tell you that you can find him at the Traveler's Inn outside the gate, and that he will wait for you there. But that this life isn't for him.
Good luck, man.
Yes.
You guys want to try to induce him to stay somehow? Is he a
Yeah.
good man?
He's good.
We don't wanna-
He's good, but he was more along like we only met him on the way to the dome, and he only joined up because he was an old friend of Telma. When she dropped, I'm not shocked that shook him deep.
Well, good men are hard to find in
You-
these times, are they not?
take him at his word.
Sometimes when something like that happens, you need time to recover either way. Maybe he'll come back in a month, see if he's still alive, see if he hasn't drunk himself to death.
Mhm.
He's probably a little young to be the heavy drinking type, but
Oh, you never know. Sneak up on you.
now he has a reason. All right. What would you like to do in town? You guys mentioned offloading the trade goods.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to handle?
Well, we're in a pickle, y'all. Can't really hire many people, if at all.
Mm-mm.
So
Wait.
I'm at a loss. I'm not actually sure what the best approach is. What do y'all think?
I think we should check the local church to see if there are any more of your countrymen who came down looking for that priest who you were following. Maybe we will find another Maybe we will find another potential companion from Escona there. Wink.
Well, you will find him. Have no fear.
All right. Be right back. I have to go to the restroom.
But I think Ross raises a good point. Sure.
Well, I mean, so we could sort of press the fast forward button and take a risk. Is that that's possible, right?
Say more.
Well, you mentioned, it takes a long time for recruits to refill, so we may just want to go ahead and sim out us waiting around in the taverns and getting to meet people and signing people up and getting ready for another expedition.
Yeah, if you'd like to do that, you can use as much downtime as you'd like. There is one other option, which may be attractive, which is going to other settlements. The pool of recruits is per market. So if you head south to another tour, there's a separate pool there. And especially if you head to Cadoan, if that's something that you guys are interested in.
Yeah.
That
We
is a
take the
much larger
entourage.
market class.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, we take the entourage and we gather a warband then. Hit the roads, hit the different settlements.
What's that? Banner Saga? Just like slowly gather a
Bannerlord.
trail.
Well, it's Mountain Blade. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Banner Saga, the one where it has like a
Oh,
2D
that.
representation of just like people that you just gather over time. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So by far the biggest market in the area is the eastern capital. Well, I guess it's the central capital, but it is still the capital of the eastern marches, which is Cadoan. And the market class details are not intended to be a huge secret. I mean, I don't know if your characters would think of it in terms of numbers, but you can certainly look at that and get an impression of how many times bigger Class 3 is than Class 4. That's one of the big breakpoints. Class 4, 5, and 6 markets are all kind of on the smaller side, and Cadoan is a Class 3. So you're looking at an order of magnitude more henchman recruits and others.
yeah.
And if you're also looking to buy, better gear, like you'll be able to find things like plate mail there.
So some really
as
quick
the default.
really quick calculations here. We
Yes.
could get tactical and gather a response from Cadoan, pass through Bowert, Ostmark Tour, return. The total cost. What do we have? We have well, actually, have we liquidated the garnet jars yet? I suppose that's one thing.
Yeah, what value can we get?
The garnet is considered liquid. You actually don't have to liquidate it unless you want to break up the value. But
that's handy because it's probably lighter than carrying a giant bag of gold.
Easier to hide too.
Yes. Axe, and I think a lot. Well, I'm not sure that this is unique to Axe, but my memory of BX also is that things like jewelry, regalia like that are the most compact way to carry large amounts of GP that can still be traded without the need for excessive negotiation. So that is the equivalent of 250 gold pieces as one sort of 3-carat coin, if you will.
Well, then we should see if we can sell these 10 jars and how well we do at that. That's 250 gold that could finance the journey and also the payroll for a line of fighters, which I think we need. We need like a full line of fighters and Do we have a thief? We need all the stuff.
I do happen to have some skill in the traditional areas of skullduggery and sneaking about.
Nice.
As I said, I had fast hands. Talma didn't really ask me to elaborate on that, but that was more or less what I meant.
Yeah. So the Go ahead.
Whatever Zephyr needs to heal people, the whole thing. So we just need to see how much money we can.
Speaking of, before she perished, or rather, before we buried her, although we buried her with most of her equipment, I did take the liberty of removing Helma's spare coin from her purse. A decent chunk of that went to the beastman who we bribed, but I believe we should come to some agreement on how to allocate the rest among us. I'd like to... As much as it pains me, I admit that I am moved by Ramit's grief, and I feel it might be appropriate to grant him a larger sum than is proportionate of the late Telma's estate.
Okay, he's not her relative, just to be clear.
Oh, okay, well then... Okay,
You
I'm
may
less
do
moved
that if
then.
you wish.
Okay, let's just split it evenly then.
Okay. So I've consulted the book, and as it turns out, incense oils and perfumes are not a trade good. They're a replacement for, they're like a flavor replacement for gems. So rather than rolling demand modifiers as I normally would and telling you what percent of that you're going to be able to make and the guy taking a cut, I'll actually just tell you that in this particular case, I didn't prepare something special, so Farouk will give you the full value minus a 3% finder's fee. More generous than what he offered last time, because these, for him, as a wholesaler, pretty much move at value. So 0.97 times 250 gold, and you can just let the odd bit left over round in whatever direction it rounds. That's how many copy you'll get.
Okay, so let's see. That's 242 gold and 5 silver. We should go ahead and figure out the cost of the journey in some time. Let's see, how far away is Cadoan? Is probably a week? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No, it says that Freeport.
What's your movement speed?
I'm on horseback, so I suppose we have max movement speed thanks to the horse.
Yeah, Cadoan's like 2, maybe 3 days away, depending on your movement speed. And you didn't bring all of your horses with you last time, so you may be able to actually reach there in like 2 days.
Okay.
I'll give you an exact mile count in a moment. Where am I? Sorry, I am. There it is.
Now there are...
Okay, so... It's 236. Yeah. It's 36 effective miles of travel.
It's like 2 days. Not a big deal.
Assuming. Yeah, it's less than 2 days. So you could even stop at Bowart or somewhere else along the way and then finish the trip. Or if you push and are willing to camp out on the road or stop at whatever minor settlement you may or may not find, you could arrive before sundown on the second day. Assuming no encounters.
Quite the assumption.
Well, it's increasingly civilized as you head that way, so it's not too crazy an assumption that at least they won't be as horrible.
Has Turpin joined the crew yet? Did that happen while I was away?
Not yet. Let's have that introduction. When will Similuricus go back to the hospital at any point?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. Yeah, when he goes back to make his report, he will find another sojourner staying there like he was staying last week. And that sojourner will be Turpin, who is welcome to introduce himself at your leisure, John.
Now, where are we?
While I roll a couple of encounters. You are in Osmart Tor at the hospital, which is run by an Asconan priestess named Ganella.
Ganella?
Ganellin.
Ganellin.
Though she will mostly leave you to your own work outside of the portion of the day where you are earning your keep by helping tend to, soldiers with minor injuries.
So I run into Simirilicus here in the hospital?
Yes. Either of you are welcome to speak first, or simply say that you meet each other and you can do it all on the road. I'm not.
Why does every outdoor brand...
I'm not particular.
Well, hello, brother.
Hold on, sorry. Go ahead.
Hello. What is your name?
I think if we're probably in our, I don't know what, plain robes or something that we would wear comfortably around this place, not our full, cassock, I guess is what we decided on last time.
I wear my purple cassock at all times.
Even when you sleep.
In my sleep is the best time, so that I sleep the most soundly.
Well, you find someone who they're young, but it's obvious to you that something horrible has happened to him recently, and it's clear that he's distracted and forlorn. And
What troubles you? What troubles you, my son?
So yeah, probably. So he's very young. You probably can't tell that he's a crusader. I think actually we said specifically he is a exorcist. And that's probably not obvious based on what you can see. What does just so I know for this, what does Turpin look like?
I am Turpin. Of course, I carry the star of the patron. I have a leather belt. I have low boots. I carry a small sack. You would think of me maybe as a proselytizer, perhaps, by my simple garb. But I'm very, very devout, and I like to volunteer here at the hospital. So that's why you find me here.
Okay.
You look like you've been through quite a lot, young man.
Yeah.
Would you benefit from a laying on of hands?
The simple beds we lay on. He has not taken notice of you or sought to try to introduce himself, and so he's startled. He says, hello, brother. My name is Similuricus. I wouldn't deny a blessing, of course.
But that is a mouthful. Where are you from?
I'm a Asconan, of course.
Well, I've not come across the likes of that, but interesting name. Relax. You're in good company. You're safe here. Let me heal you as I can.
Thank you. He accepts the blessing. I don't think he's missing any hit points. But
well, maybe it will relieve you in your spirit.
Yeah. And Similuricus is he just like vomits out everything after that, and be like, we saw these horrible creatures, there was something wrong with it, but worst of all is this great mound in the forest. It is a horrid and ancient thing, as if as if the dark spirits with which our Asconan ancestors beat back the edge of these forests. It's as if they had taken a great bowl from the heavens and placed it down here, and it is full of terrible things, brother. There are spiders that are the size of, well, like fully sized dogs, and dogs the size of horses. It is a nightmarish place, and I have seen death. And may I confess something to you?
Yes, my son. What is it?
I doubt our faith, patron, the work of the saints.
What? What's this you say? What?
Yes, I know. It's true. I refused one of the prayers. And worst of all, brother, it was after a death. I blasphemed. And if I were being honest, I don't know that I actually want the favor of the patron.
No, hush. Don't say no more. You are distraught. You've been through a lot. Don't say too much now. I've heard of such abominations, but they must be dealt with, and swiftly. So I have set forth to confront such things, and I'm glad you've told me of this. I feel compelled to join you in removing such curses from the land. I'm somewhat ambitious, so I have reasons, but I would be pleased if you would show me this bowl, this dark bowl on the earth, this blight.
Well, brother, I did in fact plan to return. I don't know what is in me that pulls me back when my faith is shattered. I wish I could tell you that it is courage or duty or repentance, but it isn't. There is something in me. I feel like I almost saw something. I sensed something. I was on the cusp of it.
You mean something good, like an epiphany, or what do you mean?
You can tell he's lying. Yes, I think so. But anyways, it happens that I actually know a group of people that are, we've come to know this place and how to get there and some of its dangers. And so, if you're returning and you are, do you have any training, martial training?
Oh yes, I've learned quite a few things in my time of training. I've got a mace that I can wield pretty handily. You can see I've got this ring mail that I don't like to show off, but it's always with me.
Oh my! Well, that is excellent. Yes, in fact, some of my companions perished. Others are strange, but one in particular you might want to know of, brother, is he's an actual Hansen academic, a scholar from Hansa.
You keep company. You keep company with such as that.
Well, surely, brother. Surely we should not judge someone from Hansa. After all, he is here in Bremen, just like us, given the coming of the war and everything.
Just like with all that's going on.
Yes,
I wouldn't say just like.
Well, I should tell you that I think that this is quite a good man, actually, and I've come to like him, and in fact, depended on him for my even my life at certain points.
Well, all right. I will see this Jargriv. I'm willing to believe they're not all the same.
Right.
And furthermore, let me tell you this, young man. I'm not an elder, of course. I'm but a simple catechesist, if you will. But I do believe the patron believes still in your deep down fervor, even if you've lost some of that. So do not despair, do not cave in to the dark. I believe a little delving and conquering of that darkness will restore you.
Of course, you're right, brother. Let us go. I'd like to introduce you to my friends.
Let us be off, yes.
Go back to the wash house.
Thank you for giving me a few moments. I have just rolled up a week's worth of travel encounters.
Oh, nice.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You
Y'all
can-
thought I was just out here letting you do that. I'm out here trying to run a campaign.
Scampering desperately, throwing down road in front of us as fast as you can.
Yes. Okay. So,
If you need me to wind up the BS, just kind of like give me a signal. Because you give me
no,
a little.
hardly.
Okay.
Time
Just
is
tell
of the
me.
essence. This was perfect. So, does Jogrov have any business in town with his sample that he's brought back?
I'm going to study it to the best of my ability,
Okay.
and perhaps consult with the fellows at the healing house.
The healing house or the chapter house?
Is there a chapter house here? We went
Yes.
south.
Osmark Tor has a
We went
chapter
south.
house.
That's right. That's right.
That houses, well, I guess a chapter of the
No.
local College of Lacarnan mages. Though they
No,
aren't
no.
Lacarnan, they're Lacarnan tradition mages. And,
Right.
you know, they aren't the same tradition as you, but they are, of course, the sort of men and women who are interested in secrets.
Yeah, why not? Hey, let's throw caution to the wind. I'll take a walk over there.
Let's throw caution to the wind. I will quote you at the appropriate time. Let me find the chapter house. So Jogrov has actually been outside the chapter house before some weeks ago, very
Yeah.
briefly, just to check and see if it was open. He found the doors locked and received no answer. Is he going by himself, or is he planning to bring one of his companions?
Oh, I think let's bring everybody. We can introduce. Let's bring everybody.
Okay. You guys bring everybody. The party will gather. I assume that introductions go well enough with Turpin, and that negotiations are managed appropriately with Sandat's promotion. Do you have anything you'd like to say about that before we move on to the chapter house, or are we good to go ahead and just say he wants in and you guys sort it out?
We'll work all that out in post. I think we can just assume it happens. Hello, old man. Pleased to meet you.
Who are you calling old
Turpin,
man?
Turpin, by the way, won't be that old. It's amazing that he's calling everyone young. Maybe he has an old face, but as an adventurer, I doubt he'll be older than 23, which is older than a lot of the soldiers. Don't make no mistake. But
Yeah, he thinks of himself as, more mature than he really is.
Hello, well-bearded man.
he may be mature for his age. There's nothing wrong with that. I would hardly settle you with playing an immature character simply because of his youth.
Don't give him too much credit.
We'll see how this goes.
You arrive at the chapter house, which is a wide, I want to say, gosh, I don't remember the dimensions off the top of my head, but it's something like 100 feet wide. There are windows set 3 to a side, and then shorter sides. Usually these chapter houses, Holt isn't here. None of you are scouts. None of you know. This is the sort of place that typically holds both an analyst who works on the military side of things and the quartermaster. This is where the quartermaster will have met with you. And also, on the other side of the courtyard, there will typically be an archive of some kind. This was in the same place at Sill's Bend, where you got to see one a little bit better, as the Scouts Lodge. It's the same sort of building, the same sort of layout. But here, instead of housing a cartographer and scouts, it houses some students of the arcane.
Neat.
And the alchemical. After a long time, you will be permitted entry. A not that good-looking apprentice wearing Lacarnan robes, which you will recognize Jagrov from your time with Zephyr, will come to the door and say, "Yes, what do you want?"
Good. What time of day is it?
What time of day do you want to go there?
When they're maybe right when they're in the middle of their day.
Okay. Yeah, you can do this shortly after you're back from lunch. After,
Yep.
just after everyone has gotten together on, I guess, the 3rd. Yeah. So this is the afternoon of the 3rd. You've been asked what you want.
Yeah. Good afternoon. I have an interesting sample.
Oh, a Hansen. Now this will be good. Do you bear the markings of some order, or are you independent? These things do matter if you're planning to do business with us, of course.
Indeed, as you can see here, and I provide my full credentials. Complete with the 7
dour-
signatures.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. A dour look crosses the face of the apprentice, but you get the sense that you have shown them that you are important enough that whether they like it or not, they ought to show you in and let you be disposed with properly by someone of a higher station. And he will glare at you for a moment and say, "Wait here. I'll see you in shortly." He slams the door as best as he can. It's not very strong. It's kind of a heavy door. But you can tell that's what he was trying to do.
I'll make sure to get in a thank you, the most polite thank you, but right as right before he slams it.
Well, he's a little flustered. He says, "You're welcome," and then he goes on his way. About 10 minutes later, he will return with an exceptionally good-looking, almost uncannily good-looking man in tow, opening the door for him. And this one will say, "Yes? Who has come to visit?"
Good afternoon. Jagrov is my name.
He'll
I
look you
have
up and down and say, "Oh, go ahead."
My companions and I came across a most interesting sample, and I could not think of any better place in the region with whom to share notes and perhaps knowledge and gain knowledge than this building right here.
He'll stare at you. "I don't like to work with Hansens, but I think I remember you."
Perhaps.
He'll sigh and beckon you in. And as soon as you take a step in the door, he will place a hand heavily on your shoulder, stopping your advance, and say, "If this is a waste of my time, it won't go well for you here." And then he'll let you proceed. The door opens into a wide, open-air courtyard with a handful of doors, maybe a dozen of them, leading into various chambers. You suspect most of these are probably the chambers of the scouts and the local guards who will stay here. Not the soldiers, but the guards around town. He'll guide you to one of the two leftmost doors from the entrance and open it into a room that you've actually glanced in before. This would be an alchemical workshop. It's about maybe like 20 by 15. As you look in, directly in front of you and directly to your left, there are wide work tables covered with alembics, aludels, retorts, crucibles, mortars and pestles, things like that. And then off in the back left corner, the far corner of the room next to one of the windows where it can vent out, is a huge, bubbling brass cauldron. Inside, there are two apprentices, you assume, wearing fairly junior robes, matching the style of Zephyar's, but perhaps a different college. You'll be welcomed in.
Oh, I'll bow deeply. Thank you for welcoming me in.
He'll eye the rest of your companions and say, if any of you break anything, you'll pay for it before you leave the building.
Of course.
Well, let's get to the point, I believe.
Go on.
I'm sorry, my daughter just handed me a piece of paper that said yes/no, circle 1.
Circle the slash.
Ooh.
Look her dead in the eye, crumple it up, put it in your mouth, then move on.
Don't do those things.
Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. Yeah, it is bedtime. Okay. Well, I'll withdraw from my little disgusting satchel. This cross section. And have a look around me at the laboratory and boldly walk it over to the table I identify as being the most appropriate one to examine this thing based on the tools that it has on it.
As you walk over to one of these tables, you will see one of the apprentices glance fearfully at the very handsome gentleman in robes who has invited you in, and back at the table, and then to this slab of bloody meat that you are holding, and he will frantically clear everything away and lay down a bit of brown paper before he can place this down.
Well, no, I mean, I'll use, if there's nothing available, I'll use my disgusting satchel, as a place to put it if he isn't. But it's better than just a slab, a hunk of meat.
He'll put the brown paper down underneath the satchel. He doesn't want this shit touching the desk.
That's
at
fine.
all.
That's perfectly understandable. Very thoughtful of you. Yes, thank you very much. As you can see here, a most interesting.
And then he'll look fearfully back at his master.
If you would just come over and have a look yourself, I think you will find it curious, frightening even.
Two of them show no interest. The third apprentice, the one who met you at the door, will look over your shoulder. The gentleman, who still hasn't given you his name apparently, will sidle up next to you, lean on the table, and ask you what you want to know.
Have you seen such things before?
Perhaps.
As you can see, I was careful to include a section of the flesh which was wounded. You can see that it flowers up from the wound in a most disgusting fashion.
It certainly does.
Cannot life itself, as exalted as it is, sometimes be monstrous.
When you say that word, you'll see him wince ever so slightly.
This we obtained from an unnatural wolf. You can see the fur far too dark for these regions. From what I have been told, of course. We slew this beast less than a day's travel in that direction.
So why have you brought it here?
Well, as I say,
The accent voice.
I seek knowledge. Have you seen such things before? What do they portend? Is this a problem you deal with regularly, or have we need to be concerned?
We have few people bring back monsters from the forest. And those who do tend not to be very careful with them. I have seen something like this before, yes.
What is your knowledge of? And I'll switch topics suddenly of the oh dang it, what's it called? Brackenwood, the
Needle break?
The
Needle break. Yes, close enough, right? And one of the syllables was kind of close.
Brackenwood, that's pretty good. I'll use that elsewhere, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes, in Brackenwood, yeah. Right across from, let me see.
Mirkwood.
Lycan's
Yes.
Grove.
Yes.
All right.
So, the needle break. Have you journeyed there yourself?
I have not, he says. But, of course, a magister of my standing knows what is written.
What is written?
He'll smirk and say, a magister of my standing knows better than to share all of his secrets at the first meeting.
Indeed.
He seems interested. What specifically are you looking for in terms of information here?
To be honest, the piece of flesh was just a quick way in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose I'm looking to try to manipulate this guy using the promise of the location of this clearly, I mean, I don't quite know, but well, we have occasion to journey into the Needleback. We are planning another expedition in the coming weeks.
And what do you imagine this has to do with me?
Well, we have heard a rumor of fantastic secrets within the Needleback.
Fantastic secrets such as?
The source of the local beastmen, for example.
This is no secret.
Is it not?
He'll give you a knowing look. Perhaps you mean something different when you say source than home.
Well, as I say, we have another expedition. Do you have perhaps anyone that would be interested in joining in this expedition?
You mean an apprentice I want to kill?
Not in so many words, of course.
What would be in it for me?
There may be things we come across that you could make use of where a lowly one such as me could not.
You can tell that he appreciates the stroking of his ego, but that somehow it's not quite landing.
In any case, we have made your acquaintance, and perhaps we can work together in the future.
If you wish to work together with me in the future, I would have to know what you are seeking and what you will find. I do not deal in mystery secrets. And I am not yet convinced that you actually know what is in that forest.
So I'm going
You'll have to give me more.
Is there like a piece of scrap parchment about and a quill? I have a quill actually. I'll grab my own.
Yeah, there's some scrap parchment, I suppose.
So I'm going to draw.
You know what there is a blackboard, actually. A slate.
Really?
Nice.
Chalk.
Okay. Well,
That
actually,
makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
I will boldly walk over to that then, and hopefully it's not full of equations at the moment.
No, I mean it's just there's slates for taking notes and things.
Oh, okay, like a tablet.
You can find a spot of a slate that's not too bad.
I will, as rapidly as I can, draw. Like so rapidly that it would be impossible for me to be making it up.
Mm-hmm.
A picture of the approach look of this dome, like the way that it looks, and then I'll just show it to him, and I won't say anything.
He'll take the slate from you, and this is a sort of a handheld-sized one of an irregular shape, but a well-polished surface as they go. He'll pick it up and wipe his hand straight across it as he lifts it up, glancing over his shoulder so that to see whether any of the apprentices caught a good glimpse. He'll set it back down and say, "I have never seen anything like this in my life." He'll then clap you on the back, cough, and write something in very small Hansen on the board.
I don't speak Hansen. I'm a fake. I'm a fraud. I will. Okay, how about no? Yeah, I'll tell him that. Sure.
He'll cross that out and write something in Depari.
Yeah, Depari. Yeah.
Do we see this happen?
It says, "Oh yeah, you're all there."
Oh my goodness, my faith in him is shattered.
Your faith in the scholar is shattered?
Yes.
Oh, the Hansen.
Yeah, we had a whole thing about how he was like Hansen and stuff.
Yeah, well, he is Hansen. It's just he speaks trade Hansen, right? So Hansen is sort of a high language.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not
clear,
actually from Hansa.
He's a working class Hansen.
I'm from Bremen.
But similar.
Yeah. Okay.
That you're okay.
Oh yeah. No, I played it up, and I'll continue to play it up, and then I'll talk about the legitimate. It is trade Hansen, and we are legitimate Hansens. It's not our fault that that territory got to, etc. You will have heard me rant about it more than once.
Yeah, if it's not clear, that's...
Hey, can Holt lean over and whisper to whoever's holding the garnet? Say, maybe should we show him what we found?
Holt's not your character.
Oh, well, I'm just wondering if somebody, because Turpin doesn't know anything, but
I don't want to show him anything that we. Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want. Sorry, I'm not playing your character. My apologies.
Yeah, it was just an idea.
These people want knowledge, not money.
So he
All right.
claps me on the back and
He claps you on the back and he writes the word supper on the board before wiping it away with his finger.
in Depari, then I will write back our treat.
He'll apologize, say, "I'm sorry that we couldn't come to an agreement," and usher you out.
Oh,
You think
thank-
you catch the very slightest grin on his face as he
Okay.
does.
this
On
is,
the
as they say, how it is done.
On the way out, Sandath was like, "So did that go extremely well or extremely poorly?"
I think I have successfully sparked this man's greed.
Okay,
You may judge that how you will.
Indeed.
good. So, do you have any other plans for the day, or just want to jump ahead to returning at dinner?
Is it possible for me to get a? It's no longer possible for me to get a leather armor in this town because we bought it all, right?
An Osmark?
Just take Telma's if you guys want to.
Buried her in it.
You buried her in it.
Yeah.
What about that leather armor that was sitting on the road?
Yeah, sure, I sold that. I'm down for that.
I did write that you have your choice of the Strix loot.
Yoink. All right,
Okay.
problem solved. Moving on. What about a dinner?
Yeah. So he'll.
We have an
Who's
in-
coming back for dinner? You guys might be kind of conspicuous.
Oh, was it to come back here for supper? At the chapter house?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
If you head back toward the chapter house near a supper, you'll be whistled at from the side of a building along the road, and you'll find this man waiting there for you.
Shall we eat in the alleyway then?
Let's go for a walk.
Agreed. Shall we? If it's okay, I'd like to keep everybody together. Well, I mean, this.
Yep. It's fine.
That's okay with everybody else.
Sure.
Although out of character, I'm gonna go refill my drink. Please continue
Yep.
without me a moment.
Go for it. So he'll take you for a tour outside the walls and speak to you in Depari.
Oh, what a pleasure.
I guess so. I don't know if this will bother the Asconans, but it is at least clear to you two that this is intended to be scholarly Depari rather than anything else.
Oh.
But it may still be distressing.
Similuricus is on a very libertine footing with these things right now.
Okay. Is he detecting evil, by the way? Something that you've mentioned that you do as sort of a standard practice. Is that something you're doing now, or is that something you're
No.
not bothering with?
Yeah, no, he's not doing that right now, yeah.
Okay. So the conversation, which Jagorov may translate for his companions as they go, and anyone else who speaks Depari will understand, goes something like this. He asks you how you know about the dome.
We have seen it.
When?
This would be 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, technically you were there yesterday as well. Right in the morning.
Okay.
Oh no, it was 2 days ago because you stopped one day. Yes, 2 days ago.
Yep.
Sorry.
2 days ago. Following a map we made ourselves.
Okay. Give me just one moment. So he'll relate to you something. He'll say, in one of my books, Fallen Empires of the Known World, by Matthias Scale. You know it, of course, I'm sure.
Do I probably do? I guess I haven't.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
You tell me.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Scully has a
is wrong.
commentary.
Yes.
Well, he's merely a commentator. He says that Suetonius relates a legend of a Tapari temple within what must be the present-day Needleback, containing evil so foul that it corrupted all who dwell therein. As with most of Suetonius' tales, of course, there is no way to verify the claim. And he conveniently explains that during the Asconan ascendancy, the Crusaders unleashed a cataclysm which buried the temple forever beneath a dome of rock. Whatever the truth of the legend, my own explorations, Scully's, he'll say, apparently found no sign of the place, though he did say a natural dome of black granite did hint at the basis of the myth.
Natural. As I say, this man is a fool.
He was
You
merely a
say that.
historian, collecting stories.
Ah. Yes. We have seen it.
I haven't seen it. We've smelled it. We've seen people die in it. Horrible place.
You've been inside.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Is there translation going on here? Or do
Well,
you
no.
speak to party?
Oh, no, I absolutely do not. Sorry. I came in late,
Yeah.
so I misunderstood that there was
Oh, yeah.
a different tongue.
Okay, yeah. In that case, no, I'm keeping up the wall of information.
He doesn't seem bothered by the accompaniment of your companions, by the way. It seems that
Okay.
when he's speaking, he's mostly giving sidelong glances to the guards as you pass by here and there in the course of your conversation.
No, I'm being deliberately
They're not
circumspect
thick, but yeah.
about having been inside.
Okay.
But yes. But what was he going to say? Yes, we have seen it.
And have you been inside? Or is it merely a dome?
There is a crack guarded by
When I learned about my
disgusting little creatures. But
Disgusting little creatures.
yes, disgusting. You pardon me. These creatures. I'll switch back to Trade Hansen. These creatures. What would you call them? How would you describe them? Disgusting, yes.
Which ones? The ones that...
The
we
ones
saw?
that let us in, yes. We paid them each 1 gold per person, and they let us in.
About 3.5 feet tall, skin scaled like a lizard. Their teeth were like their face was like a dog's face, but with sort of
It wasn't like a dog's face.
face was like a dog's face, but with more human eyes, more aware. Teeth worse than most dogs I've seen.
Just to be clear, this isn't what they looked like. They looked like tiny little caimans walking on 2 legs.
Oh, never mind. I described that. I was going too far.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know if this is what you're telling him. This could be what you're telling him. I just want to make sure you know that that's
Okay.
not what you saw.
No, I give a pretty apt description of like the little reptile guys.
Okay. Because that might be a different creature. I don't know what that is.
I was describing what I was conceptualized. I was describing the dog critter from the dog kobold from like Monster Manual First Edition, which is not what this is, I think.
I don't think there's any kobolds. I've never heard of a kobold.
We
He'll look to Jargrov and say, "You're right."
sorry, he says what?
You're right.
Jules Rat. This is the name of these creatures?
This is what they call themselves.
Well,
Did I hear them say that when they were chattering? Like, does that ring a bell in my weird polyglot mind?
No, you didn't hear them say that, but
Okay.
it seems... In fact, it seems like a much fancier word than you would imagine possible in such a guttural tongue as theirs.
Yes, we encountered terrible, terrible creatures inside. And only just inside, and we only just escaped with our lives. But we must go back. We must delve deeper. This much is clear. And for that, we
Bring
need
me
men.
one.
Bring you one of what?
Bring me one of these beasts.
The little creature, the little disgusting creatures, or the horrific creatures that killed two of our company? Giant spiders.
He'll raise another eyebrow at this. Giant spiders?
Yes, the
Not yay
size
big.
of. Yes.
He'll look around for a moment. And then rise up to his full height. Tell me you brought back a sample of their venom.
Did we?
No.
No.
Sorry, man. We only venom
none
we
of
had
us-
was the one flowing through the veins of our dead.
None of us
He'll take a
really
deep
have
breath in
the expertise to do it either. I don't think.
Nah.
and make a sad sigh. Actually, one of you did. That's naturalism.
I don't think there were any surviving naturalists in the party.
Yeah. Unfortunately, your naturalist was slain by it.
No, he was slain by something else entirely. Telma didn't have naturalism either. Zephyr was the one
Oh.
stabbed by the stump.
Got it. Yeah, so,
And
well,
perhaps
this is
we-
what he'll say anyway. He says, no, I want you to bring me one of the small creatures. A pristine corpse. I don't want one alive.
Now, is he saying this in Depari or are we
Yeah,
still
he'll
in
say
trade?
this to you in Depari.
Okay.
Oh god, he's not making this kind of deal in a language the guards speak.
A pristine corpse now.
Oh yes.
And
you wish for an apprentice in exchange.
Well, perhaps you could send someone along that can remove a poison sac, for example. This type of expertise might be helpful.
All of my students are alchemists. If it is within the purview of alchemy, they will do it. If it is not, you will be on your own. I must warn you, though. They are all quite incompetent.
I'm sure they have their uses.
If they did, they wouldn't have been sent out here with me.
Oh. No,
Ouch.
come now. Come now. So,
It is one thing for a man to hate himself. This I do not. It is another for a man to pretend that he is not hated by his enemies.
I see. This I understand. How much for the goblin, or for the, how much for the creature?
Well, I would think you can simply keep the apprentice. And should something happen to them and they don't return, in the best of health, well, at least I won't be the one with blood on my hands.
Yes, but then, how much for the creature?
Drive a hard bargain.
These things, there may be many of them.
I will need the one. For
Yes.
now.
Yes, but to get the one, we may have to kill the many.
Well, that's a service for which I imagine you will be paid by the Marks Warden. Do you really need a separate reward from me?
For the body in pristine condition of one of these
Yes.
creatures,
That's correct.
the answer must be yes. Well, I have already told you. This place claimed 2 of our companions, and we
Yes.
were barely 100 feet within its doors.
This will once again get an eyebrow raise from him. I might have to send you 2 of my apprentices.
For 2, agreed. This is fair.
He'll set his hand out, palm up.
Is this a recognized like Bremenese or trade Bremenese thing to do, or
It's not.
okay?
It's a way. It's a Hansen gesture.
That is like a handshake type of thing, or like
Yeah,
press.
you set your palm on top of his, and then you clasp.
Okay, I will do it smoothly.
You can tell that he isn't practiced in this gesture, but at least he primed it correctly. He must have read about it somewhere, or maybe met someone at some point.
I look forward to a fruitful relationship.
I don't. And then he
Optimism.
smiles.
Optimism, my friend. Optimism. I am still alive.
He'll nod to you, look over the rest of your companions impassively, and then depart.
That went well. I'll immediately translate everything that happened, and I'm not going to hide anything, but he wants one of the bodies of the creatures. In pristine condition, mind.
Sandeth is a little taken aback. Quite a thing to do. Barely have quarrel with them so far.
What
They are
does,
clearly... Sorry, go ahead.
what does he plan to do with one of these bodies?
If I had to guess, I would say
Right back.
that such a study would be of immense use, considering these creatures are clearly wicked. Little monstrous, disgusting things preying upon the civilized around them.
I see.
Of no value, other than their usefulness to us.
Have you killed such beast men before?
No. So far, we've only done business with them.
But how did you get? You said you went inside this dome.
Yes, we
Well-
paid them for passage. It was
You
easier than...
paid. You paid for entrance.
Mhm.
Yes, it was easier than risking a bloodshed, considering we had no knowledge of what was inside.
What is this? Some sort of an amusement park or something?
No,
Wouldn't feel very amusing at the time.
no.
I
It is
don't
a-
understand.
It is a
They
chamber
extorted
of
us for passage.
chamber of horrors.
And I mean, they spoke with you and you negotiated some sort of deal?
They have a language. It's not a very good one, but they seem to have it. You know, through a combination of implication and gesture and body language and the jingling of coin, we came to an implicit agreement.
Are,
that we-
are you am I to understand that there are beast men in a godforsaken black dome of abomination, and you did not slay these creatures?
Well, now we
Yeah.
have you with us. It will be no problem. Just leave one pristine, if you
can't s-
would.
I can't stab every ugly person I meet whose language I don't speak. I'd never get any business done.
This was not the assignment.
And how likely will it be to bring one back in pristine condition?
Eh,
If I
sneak
can
up
get,
behind one. Garrot?
Yes, if I can get my hands around his... Yes, it is possible. And it is simple too. We simply say no when they ask for gold and see what they do.
Well, do you have some sort of powder to inhale so that he just? I mean, what would be the way to?
Traditionally, if I wish to kill something of their size without marking their corpse, I would garrot them. Simply
Would that be pristine considered? Do you think?
sufficiently, I think. Kind of a
Listen, to be fair, surely he did not mean it could not have a single wound on it.
Blemish?
But I mean, such is true of pristine sheep corpses or uh, any other animal you would slaughter.
I was not privy to your tongue, the conversation that took place, but it seemed to me he was rather particular in his bargaining with you.
Yes. No, it should be in the best condition
What
that we
will
can achieve.
what will the Marcher Lord of this tour say when we bring a creature like this or try to smuggle it into the city, assuming we don't just...
We would not have to smuggle it. We are killing these beastmen that have been raiding the towns round about. At least that is what all the people believe. We will be hailed as the heroes that we are, risking life and limb for the sake of the common folk. This is not a difficult tale to spin in such parts.
spin. I can't deny that I'm very curious about that dome and its inhabitants. We need more men.
agreed.
Yes, agreed.
Okay.
I'll level with y'all. It feels odd to me to
Eat these things up.
a little, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm aware they've.
Well,
Telma didn't believe they were real. She thought that they were a cover story by some other power that destroyed those villages, but those villages are gone.
yeah,
A tremendous amount of dead.
yeah, but
Those guys are up to something.
well, maybe, but does this have to? I'm sorry if I miss this detail. Why do we have to start with clubbing one of these things and bringing it back? So here's what I mean.
Oh,
So the whole thing here has been a lack of reconnaissance and intelligence. Like, this whole thing is a matter of that. And if we get in there and we can finally determine, oh, these are the actual beastmen, or, oh, actually the beastmen are the good, like, if we actually can gain real intelligence, then we could act on it. But as it stands, I don't see any rush to try to club one of these things over the head and drag it back when we have no idea what we would be doing. That just sounds like a bad plan anyways.
yeah, no, I agree with
That's
you.
just what he asked for. I'm not. Just to be clear.
Just
just wanna be clear, this
we
isn't
know,
me trying
Martin.
to
We
shape
know
your
we know
campaign.
that, Martin. We
Yeah.
know that, Martin. We know.
Yeah.
We know that.
You
We
make
don't
your own
have to-
decision.
Yes, we know.
You aren't against me.
But yeah, so we could explore this dungeon, and then that should reveal itself. I suppose what I'm saying.
And then just bring back one of these guys on the side. I mean,
Yeah, hey, maybe one of them volunteers to come back.
pay him. Just pay him.
Yeah, just pay him extra.
No, he
Or
must
we
be
could just-
dead. No,
Oh,
no. Not alive. Not
How
alive. He must
I
be
just-
dead.
Out of character, just imagine this. Like, we go up to the front door, they're like, give us money. And we're like, how much for that guy? I'd like to buy him from you two. And they're like, lots of money. And the third one's like, wait, no, wait. Ah!
Which is the most pristine specimen amongst you?
I'd say another 50% casualty rate or so, and all this will become perfectly clear. Like, so.
I love
Oh.
you guys. You guys are the best. All right, let's
from,
go get
from,
up to shenanigans.
from Jagrov's perspective, it's that's perfectly reasonable.
Shagrove keeps living.
Yeah. I mean, that's really, but also, it doesn't matter really when we get a hold of one of these things. But I also think we could make it easier on ourselves by refusing to pay this time, because They are starting to extort us now. They're used to us paying them now. They're charging us for going out, in and out. So they're upping the ante, and that's not going to go on. We're not going to, all we have to do is say, no, not this time. We already paid.
I can't
And
wait to
there's-
find out that this means absolutely nothing, and these are things that figured out they can just get paid. They were gonna just fight us, but then we ended up
Yeah.
in this arrangement. Now this happened.
Right.
Anyways, I don't know. Or it could be a part of a giant underground civilization that we could be pushing into open warfare by clubbing one over the head and dragging it back for an autopsy.
Well, it's true. There is no open warfare on the table unless you guys start it. So wait.
Hold on now.
They did burn down.
Who's
somebody
been
burned down.
burning down villages?
someone's
We don't
Somebody-
actually know.
Somebody.
That's got me thinking. Like, we don't actually know. Like, what, and it's not clear to me that there's a strong sign, because we asked questions about it. I'm not really clear what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you still want to go to Cadoan and try and hire some more guys, I can probably try and find some
Yeah.
reading materials on their language, which I might be able to use to seal the deal on my so-called language proficiency.
Let's hit the road. Are we taking 2 apprentices with us right now?
That's up to you. Do you want to do that, or do you want to? Because your trip to Cadoan and back will probably take you to the end of the week, and if you're not planning on delving until after that, it's up to
Okay,
you.
then let's not
Is
take them
it
with us
possible
now.
that this raiding and burning has been accomplished by Hansen invaders or something?
No.
No?
Nah.
Such a force could not make it past all these watchtowers, all these tores.
We'd
But
see
we
them
don't
coming.
know. But we don't know whoever did this was very stealthy. Correct?
If all they had to do was come out of the Needleback. There is no sentry tower there between
Okay, all right.
between the Needleback and where these villages were destroyed.
So our prime suspects are these little reptilian specimens.
They are the only things that qualify as beast men that we have come across.
Were there witnesses that? I mean, where do we know of beastmen? Is this a rumor?
There are no living witnesses. Yes, beastmen are known. They are known of.
All right, just wondering if there was anything else to investigate. But if this is our best lead, then so be it.
Okay. So you tell me, are you planning on taking these guys with you to Cadoan, or not?
I vote no. Not my call, but I vote no.
No, yes, correct. Not at the moment.
And who intends to hire them? Because these are henchmen that you are being offered.
Oh, I thought the hiring was the delivery of. I thought we were getting paid in advance for the delivery of a one goblin corpse, or not goblin. Sorry.
You are being paid. He is offering you.
The
He's
rental?
offering you help.
Yeah,
It's not
Jograf
a
will do
rental.
it.
He's giving you 2 apprentices.
Yeah, Jograf will
Who
do it.
apparently he doesn't want here.
Yeah, Jograf will do it. Maybe he can convert
Okay.
them to his methods.
Interesting. Interesting. So, okay, is Jogro? So, are you taking them with you to Cadoan or not?
Yeah, I guess I will, since they're not. I mean, yeah, it's time to start working on them.
Okay.
Their master hates them. They probably hate him.
The next day, you'll be able to meet with this guy, unless you guys have business the same day. Other things you wanted to do. Did you? Are we good to advance?
We're good.
Okay. Yeah, the next day, it's a rainy day. Light rains. He will meet with you early in the morning, and he'll bring 2 of his apprentices, drop them off, glare at them, and say, "You won't come back until the contract is complete." Then he'll look at you, wink, and reach out to shake your hand again.
I'll smile at him, my most obsequious, and shake his hand in return, of course.
When you grab his hand, he turns his arm the other way around and shakes his arm once, and a small piece of paper, parchment, rolls down his sleeve into your hand as he releases as it gets there.
I will conceal it in my palm and bow politely once again.
Okay. The first of the first of all, I suppose you can lead off with these two apprentices.
I can?
Yeah. You have to hire them.
Oh.
I mean, it's not as though they can say no, but there is still the matter of their loyalty and their contracts. All he
Yes.
said was, "I'm giving you warm bodies."
Yeah. So, your names, please.
One of them is a young lady. I'm going to give you. I'll let you down easy. Both of them are really, really not good looking. Like someone hit them with an ugly stick
Right.
early on, and you can see that it's followed them around their entire lives. They both look, one of them looks a little bit sickly, and the other one looks kind of weak. So the young lady's name is Linda, and she is at least very polite, and bows low, and says, "I'm looking forward to some field work." And she'll smile. Her teeth are all, well, British.
Snaggled.
Yeah.
Jog remains impassive. Stoically. So, the other one? Linda,
and the other one glares at you and says, "Istvan."
glares at me. Is this the doorman?
No.
Okay.
This is one you saw in the
In the lab.
atelier, though.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't the one looking over your shoulder, though. He was just there.
All right. He's not the one who scrambled for the wax paper or whatever.
No.
Yep. All right. And sorry, what was his? Oh, Istvan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll smile in the face of his glare. A pleasure, of course, to meet you both.
Yeah. Let's talk about compensation.
Yes, let us do
We
that.
don't do field work for free.
No, I would never expect such. Well, what is your going rate?
The going rate for first level mages is 25 gold pieces per month. That's their upkeep plus whatever share you offer.
Nice.
Let's see here. Where's my gold? Oh, there it is. 168. Okay. Yeah, well, I'll offer both of them $30 a piece.
Okay. 30 a month a piece?
Yeah.
Or are you offering them a share as well?
They're mages?
These are mages. These are Laparnan tradition mages.
Okay.
Mini Zephyrs.
So a share is something that one PC gets, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, okay, so yeah, they would get.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What we've done I believe the traditional, like the default price is a quarter share. Is that the default price for a?
In the book, the default price is 15%, so really like a sixth.
Yeah.
but you guys have been offering a fourth share, which I have been affording a bonus to hiring rolls
Yeah.
because of. All of your
Yeah, so
henchmen are on 25%.
So you can offer them a sixth share or a quarter share, and that means like when we go home and we divvy up the money, we stack up all the shares, and everyone gets a chunk of the money proportionate to the number of shares they have.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Quarter share apiece. Let's not buck the trend here.
Okay. Lind will happily accept. Istvan doesn't look happy with that at all.
Well, I don't care how he looks. Does he object?
I mean,
My
he
beatific
looks like
smile is unmoved.
he's not sure what to do with it. He looks really unhappy with this offer. Rolls his eyes in exasperation and looks over at Linda, who gives him a look like maybe she's a little scared of this guy, but also, she's motioning to Jogrov, saying, as if to say, what are we supposed to do?
I'm going to pop my head into this and say, quarter share is pretty good. Last guy who came in here, I came in here on a quarter share, and I wound up walking out of here with 2 or 3 months' wages after the first mission. Easy. Don't turn your nose up at it. It's good money, and we will we try to keep our people in good condition and safe. This is field work. We're not going to not going to get you in trouble. Come on. You want
He'll
to get your
spit
feet
and ask, just exactly who the hell are you?
I'm part of the crew. My name's Sandath. Pleased to meet you. Your boss seems like a real piece of work to work with. I think you'll find us more fun. I use my mimicry to make a funny impression of their boss. Like, wretched apprentices.
This will just barely win him over. He looks unhappy still, but he says, fine. I suppose there'll be some entertainment on the road.
There'll definitely be that. You know how to play cards? I'll teach you. I'm going to take this idiot for all he's worth.
Sandath is growing on me.
I nod appreciatively behind their back at Sandath.
Okay. You'll have satisfactorily hired both of them for, you said 30 gold a month plus a 25% share. What was that? Was that the offer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. You can put them down both for that. I'm going to let you know right off the bat that Istvan is at -1 on morale. He is only here grudgingly, and you can tell. Lynn seems fine.
Even so, he will have his uses.
Okay. This hiring is complete. You guys have your horses. Are you ready to depart, or do you have other business you would like to attend to?
Oh, I think I can
the road
divert us
speak.
for another 3 to 4 hours here. Let me think of some. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Jogrov was also given this piece of paper. Are you saving that for later?
I will look at that now.
Okay. It says in Depari, Istvan must go.
I didn't like that guy anyway.
Oh. Should have offered him a bigger share.
Istvan.
At the bottom of the sheet, at the bottom of your sheet, under your thumb, it says, he will betray.
I will actually laugh out loud as I'm reading this.
And then at the very bottom of the sheet, it says burn.
What is Istvan equipped with? Like, what is his gear that I can see?
He's got a rolled papyrus spellbook, sort of a wavy bladed dagger, and black robes with fake gold trim.
Disgusting.
He's got an iron skull cap and yeah, I mean just some other odds and ends, quill, ink, backpack, and what looks like a reasonably fat pouch of gold.
Lawful aligned. I
Or
am
other-
Why is
lawful
the
aligned.
judge trying to get us to kill this guy so bad?
The judge isn't trying to get you to kill this guy
I'm
so bad.
kidding.
His employer definitely is.
So on the
By
road.
the way, were you
then,
detecting evil during any of this?
Let's take
Similarity?
it.
So
let's
I,
take-
this is
having
a
a
good-
crisis of faith right now.
I am, but that doesn't mean I'm beyond using things. This is a good example of a good time, in my opinion, to do that. Like, so when
Okay.
we're gaining these two people, I would do that. Yes. Then I would
Okay.
pretend to
So-
bless them and all that stuff, like I did in the wash house.
You'll see two things. How does Jagrov dress, by the way? Normally.
Practical, but fine. Practical traveling clothes, but nicely tailored.
Does he wear a
Uh,
cap or a hood or anything like that? Or a cloak?
Yes, he has a typical, whatever the Hansen equivalent of what my grandfather used to call the Afghan freedom fighters cap. You know what I'm talking about? He used to bring them back. He would smuggle rugs out of Afghanistan back when it was in the 70s. Anyway, he brought home one of these before. You know what I'm talking about? These brown sort of sack type hats that they roll up.
Yeah.
I imagine there's
Yeah.
some Hansen equivalent of that sort of bag type, hat or something like that. Whatever that might be.
Okay.
is what he's- yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know. Similaricus is going to see two things. First of all, Istvand is a mess. This guy means you ill, and you think it might be soon.
Oh God.
Let's take to the
Okay,
bad part
all right,
of town.
the judge wants us to kill him. All right, let's go take this guy out back and.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's one more thing.
I don't say this in character. That's not. Yeah. No. Go.
As
yeah,
you're-
one more thing.
As you're prowling around and doing your rounds, you'll notice a small glow. A small, pale red glow, about yay big.
Of righteousness
In
and goodness.
no, you're detecting evil.
Oh dang! The other thing.
Nice to hope so.
Um, just barely poking out from the back of Jagrov's skull.
Oh yeah. What about my skull? Can I detect evil in myself? I can't. No, I
You
did.
know,
I
you
did.
would
I
have to
deny
look
that.
directly at yourself.
I declare upon the fiction. No, I would not be able to sense evil in myself. That would be.
Have you
Dull.
considered asking for the manager within?
Anyway, so you'll see the small patch on the back right of Jagrov's skull.
I
Of evil?
But he himself is not detecting as chaotic.
right.
And it would be the whole person. You have Istvan here as a golden example. He is through and through. It emanates from his heart, and it is through every vein.
I
He's
swallow
got
and I
designs.
look at Jagrov and confronted with the presence of evil a second time. I imagine there are times that you are supposed to pray. Like there are certain things, like when someone dies, you should, there's something you should say or do. And if somebody, I don't know, other things, like maybe at first light or something or such and such. And probably confronted with confronted with evil, I'm supposed to pray, and seeing this in Jagrov, I don't.
On Jagrov. You do not see this as part of his essence, to be
Oh.
clear. This is on Jagrov.
Well, what does that tell me? Does that mean, does that mean that, yeah, what does that mean? If it's on him,
You're
yeah,
detecting the presence of...
yeah.
Well, you can read what the spell does. You can read what Detect Evil detects. And
There's a malicious
you're-
presence upon him.
That's
it's
scary.
not a malicious presence. it's not a malicious presence necessarily. It is a chaotic outsider,
Okay, well, that's scary.
or it's undead,
Yeah, okay.
or it's
I
it's
misunderstood.
something on his head that means you ill.
That's
But it's
both
about intentions.
intentions. I don't know. Are you saying this isn't Jagrov? It's as if he's wearing something.
When you look at Istvan,
Yeah.
Istvan is chaotic.
Okay.
He means you ill, or he's a demon in disguise, or he's a zombie and he just doesn't look it, or something like that. Whatever he is detecting. When you look at Jagrov is not, but there is a small patch on the back of his head.
Right. Yeah, but what would that mean to me as someone who does this? Yeah, what does that mean to me?
You've never seen anything like it,
Okay.
but it's not Jagrov.
All right.
It's weird.
You know what it looks like when someone is detecting as
I say,
meaning you
brother,
ill.
I think there's something on your head. And I look to, act like he's got an insect on his head, and I look and see if there's anything there. Is he wearing something, or if there's a mark or a sigil or anything like that? Jagrov.
Oh, you mean just back here?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, there's an
sweep-
insect.
sweep it-
Please. Yes,
oh,
yes,
sweep
let
it
me
off.
get that.
Sweep
Yeah.
it off. I hate. Thank you.
It's nothing but hair.
Okay.
You feel nothing but hair when you touch the back of his
Oh,
head.
oh,
The
thank
glow
you.
persists
Of
from
course.
underneath.
I
Anytime.
knew I could trust you.
Of
This is the
course.
mark of somebody who is looking out for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of that, my friend, this person you hired, I have seen in their heart they intend murder, and I
Oh.
mean you.
You're not sure that he means Jagrov ill. He means you ill.
Okay, well,
This is a relational spell. It tells you what his intentions are for you.
yeah, that's close. Close. Yeah, go ahead.
This is very convenient, you see, because his employer has delivered this note. You cannot read it. It advises us to end his life as soon as possible, for he will betray us.
I
And then
see.
it advises me to burn the note. But there is no need, because none of you can read the party.
Okay.
So, I would imagine that lawful people, we would have to declare something openly. We could not act just in subterfuge and secret. I mean, to kill someone, that doesn't sound lawful by any measure. This sounds like something where we rent a room, we claim that we're going to gather our belongings and offer him, maybe we do lie, but we lock a door, and me and
Turpin?
Is it Durpin or Turpin?
Turpin.
Turpin. Yeah, me and Turpin lock a door and go in and say, we can see, now let's have a chat, right? And then we fight to the death if necessary. I don't think we would just kill somebody in cold blood. That would just not be lawful.
You say
So,
you can. Well, wait, aren't you like judge, jury, and executioner?
You're subject to Bremen's laws. That is the only thing preventing you from, as an inquisitor who is in good standing and able to detect chaos, because
Yeah.
you have the present favor of the patron.
Yeah.
This isn't like some human power that can be subverted. If she doesn't
Fair
want to
enough.
give you the power, she
Like
won't answer.
I sense evil, smash
However-
evil. Yeah.
However, Bremen's laws are not the same, so you probably have to handle this the way that a privateer would, which is making a case if you want to kill somebody. If you want to do it anywhere near civilization. If you
Well-
want to go away from civilization and nothing ever gets back to civilization, I will adjudicate that when we get there. I haven't given that any thought, but I
I
suspect.
propose the same outcome. I propose the outcome as we have to close the door and have a talking.
All right. Man, you guys are really jumping on this. I was expecting something to happen on the road or later.
Well, let's do it on the road. Yeah, not at an inn. I mean, unless you don't want to kill him.
Oh no, we should do that. And I tell everybody else. Like I tell
What about Linda?
No, I tell Sandath and Turpin, of course. You know what's going on, and that
And Linda
I
did not come back evil, right?
No.
Okay.
She bears you. I mean, you're not detecting their nature. You're detecting their intentions toward you. Or if they're human, you're not detecting their nature. If they are an outsider of chaotic origin, i.e., a black spirit or undead, then they detect no matter what their intentions are toward you. You know, a vampire who wants to cooperate with you will detect as evil. But a person only detects that way if they have intentions toward you that are ill. It could be a chaotic person who doesn't mean you ill, who wants to work with you, and they wouldn't detect as evil. Just based on the wording of the spell. I apologize if that's unusual. I promise the wording of the spell makes this very clear. You can
No,
take a
I
look.
get you. The spell's pretty clear.
Okay.
yeah, and I tell Turpin that I can see into the heart of this person. There is no doubt.
We need to take care of him. I mean, in a righteous fashion, to rid the world of his malice.
Yes. Yes.
In a way approved by the patron, of course.
So it sounds like we're heading west, right? To that
Cadoan.
city. So we should buy a bunch of food and put it on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a 3 days
You have
journey.
3 horses, by the way.
Yep. Horsey.
All right. And are you ready to move on? Do you have other business here?
How much does food cost? Let's see. You want me to look and you want to do the book? Or...
I'll handle it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Thanks, Richard.
De nada. It's not expensive.
So, shall I depart you the same day or the next day? Bearing in mind that you're traveling along roads the whole time and that they will, be at least loosely populated every so often you can stop somewhere.
Yeah.
Or can.
I mean, I'm down with let's do it. Let's get going. Especially, I mean, I think we ought to make a move on this guy pretty much right away. As soon as we can get away from places.
Okay.
Here's my proposal. You guys beat him to death. I will get Linda a safe distance away, so that she is not too traumatized by the events that unfold. I will leave it up to you, creative men, to come up with an excuse for why Yvonne is not here when she returns.
Yeah.
One of you must be bait.
I propose an idea.
Let him to attack you.
Yes,
No, I apologize. Yes, go ahead.
He seems to have particular antipathy towards you, my brother, Samarilicus. You detect this?
That is what I sensed. Yes.
Why don't we get up a friendly contest with him and provoke him to ire? And then we will have the proper pretext for defending ourselves should he do what he intends, whatever it is to do that is unrighteous.
Yes, and especially in the meantime, perhaps you could speak with him. I think I'll refrain so that I can keep his intentions clear.
Shall I draw him into?
Get to know him if you can, brother.
Maybe I should invite him into a friendly study of our scriptures. I brought my holy book with me.
I'm sure he would love that.
He would find that a very entertaining pastime, I think.
Yes.
We could make some sort of sport out of it.
That's dark.
Yep. Dark.
Yep. That's darker than I had in mind. Okay.
But, I mean,
It's just dawning on me now that I'm gonna
we're
have to
about
play this guy out in a conversation with
Yeah.
you guys. You do
you know,
this.
I am
You don't
a.
actually have to. Like,
no, we don't
if
have
it-
to.
Like, we can skip over that. One of my own.
No, we don't have to skip over it. I think that'll be interesting.
Okay, as long as you're up for it.
I have no
I-
idea what
I
I'm
just
talking
hadn't
about.
given it a thought.
I'm thinking like memory verses or something this guy would not. I mean, he's not going to. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's dark, but we're also talking about clubbing this guy to death. So, here we are, and I think we need to probably do it. I will note, like, as part of this, like, getting to know him, like, get to know him, like, you know, maybe I'm wrong. You know,
Okay.
sounds important.
The only passage from the laws that I've written that I can think of, yes, I'm writing a fake blasphemous holy book. Sorry, guys.
Awesome.
Always allowed.
It's mostly just proverbs. The only passage that I can think of that applies here is to live without knowing is no crime, but none bears more guilt than he who knows but does nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, since I know that
I wish I could think of a counter.
A
counter
hotly
as well, but I
debated
haven't
passage,
enough.
of course. That proverb is listed as verse 532 in one translation and 531 in another. And of course, there's slight differences, and there've been 3 wars. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what you should know is that comes from the laws of the saints and is not from the words of the patron.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You can ask me to do this if you wish it. If you wish it off your conscience.
No, I mean,
what would be another pastime? Like drawing lots or something?
I mean, I'm an exorcist. Like, my whole thing, as I understand it, is to go around and figure out where evil is and beat its face. Like, yeah. And
So
Stick for a reason.
So the next time we have dinner around the campfire
Okay.
during our walk,
Yep.
Jagrav will walk off into the trees within.
You can tell me about this when we get to it because you actually have 3 encounters that are on the road
never
before you get
mind.
to have dinner.
He doesn't survive to nighttime.
It could happen.
Or-
we might just get whacked by some other random thing. Let's find out what happens.
Let's see what happens.
But you're not doing something tonight. You're doing something out on the road, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You will depart in the morning on the 4th after the rains have stopped. Sorry, not the 4th, the 5th. It was already the 4th. Today was the 4th. When you did your hiring and any other provisioning and preparations you wanted to do, and basically just avoiding the rain. It is a hot day, 87 degrees, mostly cloudy, moderate winds. You are heading out toward Bowert, which only one of you has been to before. Ooh, that's sad. Bowert is 18 miles west of Ostmark Tor. After the first leg of your travels, you will pass a group of 4 hunters crossing the road perpendicular to you at an appreciable distance. You can see them a ways off. The ground is flat. It's mostly dense scrubland. They will hail you. They seem cautious. Your group is heavily armed, but nonetheless, they have extended an olive branch at a distance.
I don't think we have any beef with them or vice versa. I think we'll just pass by.
You sure they're
Blessings
not
on your
bandits?
travels. Blessings.
You guys want to have lunch together?
They
Yada, yada.
don't want to come closer to you. They're staying
Okay.
about
Bye.
100 yards away, and they will wait for you to pass by quietly and then carry on their way unless you want to keep talking.
Shoot them.
Yeah, it's fine.
Shoot them. Okay, great. The spirit of Palensis lives on. The next leg of your journey, nearing lunchtime, you roll me surprise for this one. Just to sing someone roll a d6.
On it. 2.
Okay. You hear a noise off the path in the scrub to your some direction that I'm rolling. Oh, it's actually kind of just off the path ahead of you to your right, and nearly jump. It is a pack of deer. Yeah, I know. Exciting. But they have you by surprise and they peace out.
They fled?
Yep. That's usually
Yep.
my encounter with a deer. They act surprised and they're like, oops, get out of here. I had that
Can we have
encounter today, actually.
Can we have an attack of opportunity?
They have you by surprise, so they get to flee uncontested.
All right.
You had no opportunity.
Mhm.
The next leg of your journey is, as you are nearing Bowert, you see a group of 9 furriers approaching on the road, going the opposite direction as you.
9 furriers. How do we know they're furriers?
They
They're
have
laden
fur.
with furs.
Very furry.
No, they're carrying furs to trade.
This
Yes.
I feel like it's important that we know. Okay, so these seem like nice people. No need to. Yeah.
Good day to you.
Yeah, I don't
Does
May
even.
the patron.
Oh, actually,
Sorry.
yeah, they'll stop and chat for a moment and wish you also a good day. Mostly because they outnumber you.
What news? Any excitement in Bowert?
Ballard? No. Still standing.
Thank goodness.
Any other questions for them?
Have you seen any large wolves of late?
Goodness, no.
Oh,
They're
that's
carrying
good.
like deer pelts.
Good.
How much for those pelts?
$150 gold for a bundle.
Is that a good price? I asked the GM
That's-
with a hopeful expression.
That's the mid-market value.
Basically, okay, quick question. Can I make any money by just taking this crap off their hands and offloading it at Cadoan, or is that a fool's errand?
Are you asking me to predict the dice rolls that would tell you whether you made or lost money on that sort of mercantile venture ahead of time?
I think he's
Yeah,
asking
good point.
if it. Okay.
If it seems obvious, if the odds seem good or stupid.
Is this
Anyway, I don't have enough
preposterous
money.
or- Okay.
I don't have enough money for a whole bundle, so and that's like the base unit, so don't worry about it. I'll come back to that later when I'm carrying more cash.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a fair price for that much fur if you.
I waste
wanted
their
to buy the
time by
truck
dithering
first.
about it.
Okay, you will reach Bowert. It is not yet the end of the day. You may continue on if you wish the same day for another 2 hours, or you can stop and rest in Bowert. You have traveled 18 of the 24. No, you've traveled less than that in your effective miles. You have traveled half of your distance for the day. It's 18 miles, but the roads make it quick travel. You want to stop here? You want to keep going?
Well, let's keep going.
Okay.
Unless there's people to recruit here.
Recruiting
I
people
will
takes a
roll a
lot of
D2.
time, doesn't it?
It usually takes a week
Oh, okay.
of advertising. You think, I don't know, it's possible that you could find some 0th level militiamen here to recruit, but
No,
you would
let's
have
head
to
on to the
stay.
bigger. Let's head on to the greener pasture.
You get an odd look from one of the little children who seems to recognize Jagrov from a month ago. Children have good memories, you know. But she goes to wave and her mother whisks her away. Not from you in particular, but from the armed men. Okay, you'll be able to travel for another 18 miles along the road. In the next portion of the day, there is a cloudburst that doesn't do it doesn't do enough to slow your progress, but it certainly soaks through your clothes, and someone's pack was open with a number of rations in it. However many rations you brought, this is going to destroy 30% of whatever rations you had stored for the expedition.
We'll have to buy more on the way. Because I bought like 3. I bought enough plus a little extra, so we're gonna need to get more.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna lose a bag's worth of rations. They get all soaked. I mean, you could try to eat them, but like the hardtack or whatever. Well, it probably wasn't hardtack. These are probably fresh rations, right?
Yeah, they're fresh rations.
So the bread just gets soaked through. It's like it doesn't look appetizing anymore.
For all of us?
It's just a third of whatever the expedition had.
Yeah,
Not
Richard,
30%.
he bought a bunch, yeah.
Yep. Okay. The next 2 sections go cleanly. You are now entering. You reach a great river. This is one of the rivers that leads down toward the capital, or rather north toward the capital, and out into the Bay of Bremen itself. A great bridge stands where you are challenged by a bridge guard wearing the regalia of the River's Guard. What do you call it? The Floats Guard. To identify yourselves, state your business.
Yeah.
You are armed.
We're travelers heading from the city of Bowert to the city of Cadoan, with the hopes of doing business at the markets there. I'm a formerly Cadoan-born man myself. This is my friend Shagrov. This is my friend Similiricus and his fellow Turpin. These are our retinue of assistants and advisors, Holt, Linda, and Istvan.
And what's your name?
I am Sandath.
Sandath. Did you serve in Cadoan?
I did. Actually, out of character, I don't know if I did or not. So I'm just saying I did.
Okay.
But in character, I say I did.
Roll me a reaction check.
6 on a 2d6.
Plus your charisma
Of nothing.
I remember Sandath in the city guard.
The city guard? I don't think that was me. Never had much of a talent for, soldiery.
As I recall, he owed me money.
How much did he owe you?
10 gold.
10 gold? That's quite a lot. Are you sure you're not misremembering a bit?
He'll glare.
Let me see how much money I can scrape together. Let's see. Oh, it just so happens I do have 10 gold.
Well, you're willing to square away an old debt. I think we can ensure your passage both here and back.
I think we could arrange that. And if you do happen to encounter this Sandath fellow who owes you money, tell him that from one Sandath to another, things are square with you. I'll do. Can I trust you to do that, sir?
He wordlessly pockets the gold and motions you across the bridge.
$131 GP remaining.
Okay.
Nicely played, young man.
That wasn't nicely played. He fleeced me.
Well, it could have been worse.
That's true. Okay, you will reach Cadoan, the gates of Cadoan, by the end of the day. And this brings us to time.
Yes.
We'll begin